Hi, I'm Dr. Craig Woods. I work with a canine company, and I've got Bogey with me here today, a new puppy, 4-month-old lab. And Bogey actually is a dog of one of the employees of the canine company. I'm going to talk about some things we need to look for when we get a new puppy. I'm actually picking up a new puppy on Saturday of this week, and it's a King Charles Spaniel, a smaller puppy. And we've had a discussion within our family, what is the right dog? What you need to do before getting a new puppy is really address this with the family. What's the right environment? Do we need a big dog? Is a larger dog going to be important? It's also good to maybe consult with either breeders or a veterinarian about, what's the temperament of these dogs, and are they the right ones for our family structure? Finding the right dog is important, but also making sure that once you get a new puppy, that you address things with your family, kind of safeguarding the home, both indoor and outdoor if you have a yard. Bogey here is a curious dog, okay? We're going to chew on a lot of things. We're going to get down there, maybe chew on socks or toys, but oftentimes those things can represent danger. So safeguarding the household, thinking about contingencies. What's this dog going to encounter in the yard, inside my house? Those are things that are important to address with your family. When we get a new dog, it's very important that we have an appropriate obedience and training for that animal, and the whole family has to be involved here. It is important to understand that dogs are pack creatures. They have a hierarchy, and it's also important to make sure they don't become the master of the household, that everybody within the household understands their position, particularly the dog. So it's something that good obedience and training is going to be rewarding and keep the family dynamics really in order. It's also important, too, that when you get a new puppy, you find a veterinarian, one that's going to be able to address the issues or the questions that you may have. Ask friends, ask colleagues, ask your neighbors. Who do they use? It's also important that you understand, if you get a new puppy, have they been vaccinated? And not only what they've been vaccinated with or against, but also at what age, because you need to address that with your veterinarian. Were they appropriately vaccinated? Are there other diseases I need to be aware of that they may need in this particular area to be vaccinated against? Things like rabies, parvo, lepto, all these different diseases that dogs can get. It's important they have an appropriate vaccination schedule. And if you're unclear on the vaccination history, or you're unclear on have they been protected against certain diseases, highly recommend that you keep them or refrain from letting the dogs play with other dogs or going to dog parks or other areas where they may be exposed to certain viruses or other diseases that they may not be protected against. Another important thing to discuss with your veterinarian is appropriate flea, tick, and mosquito control. All these insects can actually transmit certain diseases that can not only affect your dog, but in certain situations can become life-threatening. And another thing to address with your veterinarian, I know it sounds kind of gross, but are internal parasites or worms. And these actually, left untreated, can cause a whole range of different disorders, including obstruction, sometimes even anemia. With hookworms, it might be sucking so much blood out of the intestine that the dog actually becomes anemic. So it is important to understand, if you get a new puppy, have they been what we call dewormed or treated, and with what? So we know it's important also to have your veterinarian check for parasites, internal parasites as well.